Hi, my name is Michelle Watts, and I've been working on a new collection of quilt patterns that use laser cut stencils and paint sticks. Let me show you some of the supplies you need and how easy the new stencils are to use. First of all, you're going to need one of my patterns. It's simple with stencils. They come in a variety of different sizes. We're going to be working on a Drunkard's Path block today. You're going to need pre-cut 3.5 inch squares, or squares the size that you want to be working with. These squares need to be pre-washed, 100% cotton. You're going to need a sheaf of paint sticks, a stencil brush. You're also going to need a piece of fine grit sandpaper and a palette to put your paint on, and I use freezer paper. You're going to need an ironing surface and a hot iron. So let me show you how easy they are to use. You're going to get, in the pattern, you're going to get a set of laser cut freezer paper stencils. This is what they're going to look like. You're going to peel them off. You can see that they're attached with little tiny 1/64 inch tabs. You're going to lay one square of your fabric right side up onto your ironing surface, and you're going to align the outside edges of the stencil and the fabric and hit it with a nice hot dry iron. Now then, I'm going to remove stencil A by just breaking the little tabs with my fingernails. If you can't do it with your fingernails, you can always use a seam ripper. Now then, I'm going to take and I'm going to pull the stencil piece A off very gently, and that leaves this piece in exactly where it needs to be for perfect piecing and accurate sewing when you start to sew the blocks together. Now you're going to take stencil A and you're going to apply it to another square. Press it with a hot iron. Make sure you get it good and pressed in place. And now we're ready to stencil. I like to put my fabric squares as I stencil them onto a piece of fine grit sandpaper. Just makes it grip and hold as you're working on them. So now then you're going to take your paint stick, and if it has the film that's built up and you haven't used them in a while, you're going to have to pull that film off. I like to just rub my wet paint stick onto the freezer paper and get some paint on it. And then I'm going to take my stencil brush and I'm going to put it into the paint onto my freezer paper. Make sure you don't have any little flecks. And then I'm ready to stencil. So what I like to do is just work from the outside in, and you're going to continue to do this until you fill the space. So you're going to fill this space, and then on this stencil you're going to fill all of the outside space. So what you're going to have is this block will look like this, and this one will look like this. So once you've got them painted exactly the color that you want them to be, then it's time to peel off the stencil. So it's just a matter of taking your fingernail and lifting it off. You can see you have a nice clean crisp edge. You peel this one off, and now you have the two blocks that are needed for the Drunkard's Path block. Each one of the laser cut stencils can be used 10 to 12 times depending on what kind of fabric you're using and how careful you are at removing them. When you get ready to use them again, it's just a matter of repeating the same process. You're going to lay the both laser cut stencil pieces onto the fabric again, hit them both with a hot iron, peel this one away, leave this one, and then iron this one to another one. You always want to iron this one in place first and then put this one on another piece of fabric. That assures the accuracy that you need when you're piecing them together. You're going to make a big pile of the blocks that you need. The instructions tell you a variety of different sizes and how many blocks you need for each one. And so you're going to make a variety of different blocks, and then when you get ready to sew your blocks together, this is a miniature Drunkard's Path block, or miniature quilt. This is a 1-inch finished block, where we were working with 3-inch finished blocks. But you can see how accurately and how beautiful these are. Of course, it's way easier to stencil a curve than it is to piece a curve. This is the Drunkard's Path block. I have 11 designs right now, with lots more coming out in the next couple of months. So you can always check out my website, jmichellewatts.com, for more information.